Last month, the 2022 Nobel Prize awardees were announced. You may have read about this physics prize. It has, for a physics prize, created a bit of a splash. You know, we humans are a curious bunch. Early in human history, we asked, what's everything made of? We know the ancient Greeks, Tibetans, and Indians believed that everything was made of 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire. Then Democritus came along, and he developed the first atomic theory. He reasoned that if a stone, for example, were cut into smaller and smaller pieces, then at some point there would be a piece which would be so small it couldn't be cut again. And he called those small pieces of matter atomos, the Greek word for indivisible. Now, although it turned out that his was a theory with legs, it would be rejected by Aristotle. 2,000 years pass, and modern science develops its own atomic theory, this time backed up with experimental data. We know from high school that everything is made from atoms, and that atoms are electrons orbiting a nucleus with protons and neutrons. Then it turns out to be more complicated, more of an energy atmosphere around the nucleus than orbiting particles. Then it turns out that the protons and neutrons can be broken down into up quarks and down quarks. In fact, there are a lot of subatomic particles. And then it seems that all these particles are also waves at the same time. Here's where our long effort to get to the fundamental building blocks of reality hit a snag. Bear with me here. This wave-particle duality is bad enough, but then, according to quantum mechanics, if 2 photons arise from the same source, one will spin to the right and the other to the left to conserve angular momentum. So far, so good. Here's the kicker. No matter how far apart these photons travel, they stay paired and tangled, so that if you measure the spin of one, you know automatically the spin of the other. You're wondering why I'm telling you all this. It'll come clear, hopefully. Now, Einstein, for one, was not happy. He had just amazed some and confused others with his relativity theory, but this was a step too far. Particles always have definite features. He couldn't accept the probability aspect of the wave-particle duality. God does not play dice, he famously said. An entanglement would require information sharing faster than the speed of light. So, as he put it, there is no spooky action at a distance. There must be some other explanation. Well, this year's Physics Nobel Prize winners from Austria, France, and the US have been able to prove Einstein wrong. These physicists have shown that there is no observer-independent reality. No objective reality. Wow. Is it a problem that we don't have a firm foundation for reality? No. Long before these fellows won their prize, practical scientists went ahead, applied the theory, because it worked spectacularly. It seems that it's in these cracks, these seeming aberrations, that magic happens. New possibilities emerge. Objective reality was holding us back. Now we're well on the road to quantum computing. Now, we found ourselves in this spot before. Early in the last century, philosophers Russell and Whitehead tried to tie all of mathematics down to logic. Along came Gödel and said, sorry boys, I've proved that any mathematical system will have undecidable statements, be incomplete. Again, was this crack in the foundations of mathematics a problem? No. Again, it opened new possibilities and mathematicians made great strides. Philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein tried it with language and soon learned that it's imperfection and indeterminacy that makes language work. Language is not logic, it's something we do together. We have this desire to get to the bottom of things, to make things neat and orderly, tie up our understanding with a bow, but we can't. Simply not the way the universe is, and neither are we. It may be convenient for us in daily life. In fact, may even be essential to our survival to experience our world the way we do, made up of individual objects with definite properties and so on. But when this habit of objectifying hits to ourselves, it's a great cost to growth and development. As Wittgenstein says, our special challenge is to live our lives with a tolerable measure of certainty while recognizing that our various ways of being in the world are without foundations. One of the many ways we might describe our work, the ESI Institute, is that we teach people to accept offers. The scientists, mathematicians, philosophers seeking foundations as the basis for moving forward didn't reject disruptions, inconsistencies, crazy experimental results. They accepted them as offers, and possibilities blossomed. At the ESI Institute, we create environments by building ensembles, which is what gives us, I think, that tolerable measure of certainty, as we can trust what it is that we're building together. Fred often quoted Bishop Butler, who said, "Everything is what it is and not another thing. Commonsensical, but not so." Never mind particles and waves. Our individual selves don't vanish into those ensembles. We live in dialectics, individual and ensemble. In our collective activity, we are being and becoming at one and the same time. We learn to relate to each other as the revolutionaries we are. Sure, we're adapted to our societies and cultures, but we're also culture creators. We're tool users, but we're also tool makers. Why support the Institute? We're really good at creating environments where people can set aside so-called reality, accept offers, and create together. And that's important.